Welcome to another match of the Settlers 4 World Championship. First round of the Swiss stage. We are playing on the Buddle map Happy. And on the left side we are having the Mayan, the blue Mayan, Venaric. On the right side we're having the orange Viking SF Antimateria. Now, this is probably the most exciting match for the first round of the Swiss stage. Both of these players are really high-level players, and it's a high-level, both are high-level players, and they are both close up in terms of skill level. And I also know that at least Antimateria has plans for a build. I have a little bit more details, but I'm not gonna spoil it, and because he might not be able, might not do it. I don't want to give away his strategies for later if he does them later. And Venaric, I at least know that he has planned to come up with builds. I don't know if he did, but as this is a pretty high level match, I'm assuming from both of them that they are going to try to play on a really high level. Now, civilization wise, we're seeing the Mayans, which tend to just always be thought of the favored civilization on any of these kind of set maps, as you usually have enough stone around to be able to just outpace every other civilization and have way more troops than all the others. Now, Antimateria is playing Vikings, and Vikings don't have the stone thing, but they have some spells that can increase their economic strength with stone to iron or casting some deer, which really can speed up their build-up as well. So yeah, generally the map, when we made the maps, we tried to balance the maps to be even between the civilizations. So I'm eager to see if one of them is able to actively, has such a sharp build that they are just completely out macroing the enemy and not even needing to fight well and just win by having more soldiers. Oh wow, 4 stone, 5th, 6th? No way. Double Fisher, 6 stone mines, sounds crazy. I am so excited for this match. I am so incredibly excited for this match. Holy shit. Right now here we don't see any stone cutters / stone mines yet. Should come up quite soon though, because we don't have as many resources on this map as the Metzel. We do have some logs laying around at the beginning though, so you can build your sawmills right off rip, giving these wood-heavy civilizations quite a bit of a boost compared to the Mayans, but don't really need those logs. We don't see any new lumberjacks or foresters yet. Now, apparently I think the 5th and 6th stone mine are only placed and won't be built yet. Still crazy. 4 stone mine start is a very interesting start, to say the very least. Damn. Yeah, I'm impressed by that. Okay, so anything else we can look out for? I think this is really cleanly played in terms of settlers. We have barely any settlers standing around. Question is it maybe too greedy? He might be missing his next house, and that house might be a little too late. Right now we are having 2 settlers there, 2 settlers there, 2 settlers there. It's very little you're seeing stand all around a few settlers. On this side we are seeing much more this medium house is still producing, small houses that one is finished. Seeing much more settlers, but we also know that this is a Mayan. Mayan needs stone, and what can 4 stone mines do really well? Produce a shitload of stone. So this should be like a really, really fast build-up, especially since he basically is infinite wood for quite a while. He just needs to build a few sawmills, and they will use the logs to produce a lot of wood like quite fast. So I assume he's gonna build up a little bit of the wood industry and then go into the... Never mind, he already goes into the toolsmith, I think at least. Maybe this is a medium house. Maybe. This is I think toolsmith. No, iron smelter. There's another medium house. I'm not quite sure what these buildings are all. We'll see when they're actually being built. But yeah, I'm assuming we're gonna see the toolsmith quite fast. And I feel like there's gonna be quite a big build. Maybe it will be late toolsmith because he's only needing the toolsmith once he goes into the farms. Which, to be fair, he's gonna do relatively quickly. What is that building? I genuinely don't know what that building is gonna be. All that. Are these hunter? Oh, my bad. Are these gonna be hunters? Because I feel like there's not much. Like, I usually like to build a hunter down here, like there. It hunts here. And like this. This. Isn't that much over there. Let's go back to antimateria to see. Yeah, he does build a house now. Diggers and builders standing around at the bottom. Does look like there's a tiny shortage of settlers. When that stone mine finishes, he definitely will need more, but then the small houses will be finished already as well, so never mind. There's missing one wood that is coming in right now. I think? No, wait, that dude went other way. Or other builders going back to work. I don't think so. The first stone mine isn't finishing yet either. This is very tight. Very, very tight. Which already shows us that he's prepared, because at least I wouldn't want to intentionally play this tight. When I wouldn't be, like, when I'm not prepared. Now I'm hoping that he doesn't do, doesn't stop and start the mine. Doesn't pause and unpause. That's, I think, how I'd say it in English. Because he doesn't have enough settlers right now to deliver the food. That's a quote-unquote bug. Because it definitely feels like a little bit of an unintended feature. That nowadays in the settlers community is kind of thought of as a feature. Where if a building is finished, it doesn't yet ask for resources until there's a settler inside the building that is actually working there. Which kind of makes sense. Like, if you don't have the tools for building, you don't want the building already to get bread that is just going to be useless. But if you pause the building and unpause it while it hasn't any... well, there's no worker in it, the settlers will at that point then actually transport the resources needed for the building to the building. But yeah, he did. Yeah, I don't think he did the pause/unpause and just waited it out, because the stone mine is really close anyways. Stone mine has 10 free goes at the beginning, or mines in general, so he can just wait it out. First 10 stone will come in, and only then the food is gonna be needed, and in that time the settlers can carry the first bread from the start tower to the stone mine very easily. And now we're seeing a stone mine. I'm pretty sure the last Viking Winners mode didn't build a stone mine on the Metzel that I commentated. For me, that match happened like literally right before this, so if you're later in the WOD, don't be confused when I'm referencing the match Venice mode against Laudo a bit, because it literally just happened 20 minutes ago, or 30 minutes where it's finished. Yeah, we have the toolsmith is finished for Venaric. We are seeing the first farms getting the resources to be built. Stone cut at the bottom, stone field on both sides. And generally like a really fast build, I feel like. Doing a 4 stone mines startup just Sounds crazy to me in my head, but might just be genius. Very eager to see how big he's gonna build. Like right now already on 5 sawmills, while like the Viking is only at 7. 7 is not much more, considering that he needs much more wood. Like he wants to be at least at double the amount of saws right now, like compared to the mine. But he just doesn't have the stone mine boost, and like you don't have a lot of pickaxes at the beginning, but like you have the standard amount of pickaxes, I'm pretty sure, that you have from HEAG. You have standard HEAG starting resources, which means you have 5 pickaxes as a Marian for as a Viking, but you also have 6 people that can work in mines. 6 miners. So yeah, he just uses those to get his stone instead of using pickaxes on stonecutters. Like he also uses them on stonecutters because stonecutters aren't like inefficient, still good and useful. Like they are the main way to get stone in the game usually. That's what you learn when you start playing the game. The interesting thing he's doing, he builds his lumberjacks first, and second his foresters, because the tree is so dense that he doesn't need to build the foresters immediately. Another thing that I'm noticing that way, I feel like he didn't really give any space here for the foresters, while here there's space for a forester there and there. So that's definitely enough foresters in this area, but I'm wondering if he's either gonna put one like into the corner here, get it more inside the forest, or if he's just wanting to get rid of this part, crush these later, and get some space. I don't think it's needed, because I feel like he's playing a really fast build that's gonna be really strong at peacetime, and then you wouldn't need it. We have the first farms already at the 12-minute mark. That's is it early? I think this gives me like Metzer vibes. Like this is as fast as you would have them on the Metzer. So in that sense it is early, because you shouldn't have it as fast as on the Metzer and on the Buddha. Like we've started building a few farms, but they will still take a bit before they're finished. And sorry. Yeah, we have 2 of them being finished, but the other 3 are just missing their classic 1 stone and a few more resources. Wait, it's gonna be 6? 6 down here. Okay. That's quite a lot of grain. Oh, he carried the scythe from the starting tower with the sieve down here. Not all of them, because there's still one laying around. The mines are coming up to make sure the toolsmith is continuing work. Toolsmith also built for antimateria. Sorry, just took a while there. Can honestly open this back up. This is interesting. I think he's carrying the starting resources you have away from the starting tower, so that he can build fishes and other buildings in this area and doesn't waste space. Definitely something that I could copy for my gameplay, as I always waste space there. And as a Trojan, you really don't want to waste space. Honestly, quite similar to the Viking, because the Viking has a similar issue in terms of space. Not as much as Trojans. Yeah, their buildings, the Viking buildings aren't quite as big. But you still need a lot of... Honestly, the Viking buildings are as big. Actually, they're also more efficient, which is like the main reason. Needing to build twice as much gold smelters as the Trojan to have the same gold production really hurts, you know. And that's where you get the space issues. We're getting a second stone mine on antimateria side. So at half of the stone mines of Venaric, which is very interesting to see. Second coal mine this early kind of confuses me. Or does it? Now that I think about it, he doesn't have any bread or fish production yet, I'm pretty sure. Not any fish production, but not enough fish production to cover all this. So this might just be to get another free 10 coal out of the mine, because the first 10 work, like they will work 10 times for free, as I said earlier, for the stone mine already. Yeah, the farms are finishing up. I'm not finishing as cleanly as I'd like to see them finish. But he needs to build some mills and some bakeries. Already getting all this stuff. Is this even a bakery? Maybe that might be his medium house as well. Well, these farms look like they finished more cleanly, and Venaric kind of lost his lead there. Like, we see resources built, like 379 to 317. I think the lead could have been bigger, or was bigger as well. Maybe not though. Didn't actually look at it too well. So Venaric isn't actually as much in a lead as I thought. I think he's kind of capped by the amount of diggers. Like, he just can't dig more buildings. Can't build more. So he has his 5 sawmills, or 6 actually. 6 is quite a lot. 6 already, having 6 already running is quite a lot. Yeah, he's kinda limited by the diggers. And I don't think antimateria increases sawmill count at all. Oh, actually no, there's one more up there. Being on 8. 8 to 6 is definitely... Yeah, now it's 120 resources. That's what I thought. That's what I thought the difference would be more. Like, over 100 resources. It's a million ahead, it's Venaric ahead. And I'm expecting that to grow with 6 million souls versus 8 Viking souls. I'm expecting that Venaric will just be able to build much more, and therefore probably be able to get more soldiers out. Interesting to see what the answer will be for antimateria. The answer might be mana. Might be some stone to iron or some deers. We don't know exactly. Something like that it could be, but we're definitely seeing 2 beekeepers at this mountain. Beekeepers can put the hives of the bees on any terrain, so they can be placed in front of the mountain. Very neat mechanic. Only the Vikings can choose their mana production spots that freely, and also use some otherwise wasted space. Because if we look at the Mayans, they would need to put it on the desert. Which, to be fair, for other civilizations, it would be wasted space, the desert. But Mayans could also build other buildings on top of the desert. It doesn't need to be the Gave Farms, I'm pretty sure they're called, something like that. I don't know what the actual thing is called, but they're mana production building. Now we're seeing more coal mines, probably more coal mines that are supposed to do their 10 first working works, yeah. Produce their 10 first coals for free. We are also gonna get some bread in quite soon. 3 mills, probably like 5 bakeries, because bakeries are much faster than the grain farms. Maybe 4 bakeries. I'm not quite sure. No, I think 3 bakeries can handle 4, and they'll idle just a tiny bit, the bakeries. I feel like... I mean, if they idle a tiny bit... Nah, I don't think 4 will be enough. I think it'll be 5, and they'll idle. They have some idle time in between. I don't think 4 will work out. Yeah, we're seeing mines on... Oh yeah, we have a stone storage. I'm almost certain that we're gonna see stone to iron. Which, you know, ain't bad. Yeah, we're seeing the large temple at the bottom here. I'm a little bit curious why you'd put the large temple all the way in the bottom here. Especially since, like, the only reason I'd personally imagine why you would, because, you know, on this point, the diggers won't have to dig. Won't have to level the building place. Yeah, but they do. They're there. On bottle maps, there usually tend to be a few spots here and there where you can usually smaller buildings, not large temples. Those are usually hard to find spots for. But smaller buildings you can find spots for where the diggers don't even need to level the building place at all. Over the foundation. Yeah, we're seeing the first. What's it called? First heavy industry. We are seeing the first heavy industry on Venaric side. Coal mines ready. I think he's missing pickaxes right now, so yeah, only 3. The coal mines have a worker in them. I don't think he's gonna build a second toolsmith because I feel like he would have already done that. Gold smelters down here and the gold mines down here. More houses. I'm pretty sure this is like the most west it's gonna get in terms of heavy industry. I feel like the rest of the heavy industry these houses will probably be crushed and replaced with heavy industry, and we see more heavy industry be built along this way. Because we're already seeing one storage over here where there's gonna be the barracks. So he is planning to be strong at peacetime and not chill out in his land. This was indeed a hunter, so I assume this wasn't a hunter. Oh, this was a forest, a lumberjack, interesting. Okay. Lots of heavy industry around here. I think this is gonna be heavy industry, right? Like what else would it be? Maybe some houses in between. But we have like a large house producing settlers over there, another large house building there. Oh, already he has built quite a huge, like quite a lot of large houses. 2, 3. I think that is proper. Fishes waterwork. Waterworks appear in fishes as well. And sorry for yarning that much. I don't know why I'm so tired today. I haven't really done much. These matches do happen quite late in the day, so I guess fair enough. Yeah, we're seeing... I'd be quite sad if this is barracks that are already being built, because they really don't have to be. But it also feels like it wouldn't make sense if it was anything else than a barrack. Because there's a storage right here. Maybe this is a gold ore storage. Building something else in there, but I feel like it's gonna be... Oh, there's the second toolsmith. I really expected the toolsmith to come earlier. Maybe it's like a emergency toolsmith because you realize, oh, the first toolsmith didn't come early enough, or maybe the mines didn't come early enough, didn't yet get enough tools, would have needed more tools, and therefore he builds the second toolsmith to catch up on that deficit. I'm hoping it isn't. I'm hoping this is was planned from the beginning. We're maybe gonna see a 7th saw? Surely not. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it would be kinda cool to see. I am a little surprised we're gonna see mana. Mana feels weird. Building mana that early for the Mayans before peacetime feels too early. You don't, like, the combat mana with the Metzner mines just isn't that strong. I don't really see a reason why you'd build it that early. No, actually... yeah, 2 gold bars were already picked up by somebody. There are 4 C's on the map from the Viking, from Antimaterial. I'm a little bit surprised. That he picked up 2 gold and then left the rest. I assume it was more an accident that they... No, that was to get the early... That's genius. I love that. That's cool. It's a really cool way of using that gold that is in the middle, but also makes you... Like, that is something that when I'm now thinking about this, like, what if I'm now gonna play against him and be able to steal the gold from the middle before he does, so that he can't build his large temple? Maybe he does it like really early in the game and I just didn't notice it, like right off rip he makes 2 thieves, sends them over to make sure he's not gonna get fucked. But that's interesting, very interesting. Now we have 6 stone mines. Maybe these 2 stone mines, or mines in general, I don't know what mines they are because they aren't built. I can't see from these two like what mine it is. They look too similar. But I feel like he probably put those mines there to measure for the other mines where he wants to put them so that they are running at 100%. Because if you put the mine exactly on the mountain edge, its working area will extend outside of the mountain and therefore can't run at 100% because the working area at the bottom, just there's nothing to gain. There are no ores in the open, they're only inside the mountain. Yeah, we're seeing first few weaponsmiths done. Like this one was already working for a bit, has a few bows stacked up. Second and third are already finished as well. Currently seeing... Yeah, we were seeing a few gold smelters as well, so at the bottom here. This wasn't the barracks that was already built, although I don't think it was a need to, like storage just didn't even build up anything. Would have built something else in the meantime. Not too bad, doesn't really hurt you either. Oh, excuse me. I'm pretty sure you don't even hear me yawn, but still feel guilty. This is a large temple, which makes sense actually. I mean, he has... At least he already digged it. It doesn't seem like he's building it. What is happening down there? He's building this one singular building? Sounds wrong. He maybe just uses diggers at a time when he had time to pre-dig those. He was already building all the stuff down here because he's want to build it later. Yeah, quite interesting that he managed to do that. I guess in the early you do have like quite a lot of diggers that you don't need, but especially towards the later stages of the game, I always feel like the diggers are more your issue than your actual production of materials like wood and stone. But yeah, as I said, he's expanding his heavy industry more to the right than the left. This was just where he started, and the rest will be built over here. Rebuilding the houses in the middle, honestly not too bad. It's exactly where you want those settlers to be. They can go immediately to the mountain and circle around in the mine heavy industry area where you need the settlers to be. So yeah, barracks over here, front barracks. Exact same thing goes for antimateria, also front barracks. Very expected. I feel like most people are prepping for peacetime timings, are prepping for instant action. Yeah, I'm eager to see how that's gonna turn out, because I feel like right now we're gonna see more soldiers from Venaric. We already have a few weapons already. I mean, this heavy industry, it's done. It's 5 Viking weaponsmiths that he's currently running off of stone to iron, and that very efficiently. Like, he actually has more already, although we have almost 200 resources lead for the Mayan. Like, he has built more stuff, but his stuff is just more efficient. That's interesting. And I mean, saying that Venaric built more than antimateria, you also need to factor in he built more building economy, and the building economy doesn't really benefit him in terms of soldiers immediately. It's like 200 resources, maybe 100 of them, probably not. That's probably too much. Maybe 50 of them are also just in making more resources to build. So yeah, it's not always black and white with those kind of things. And yeah, I don't think we're seeing more source being added on either side. I feel like we're gonna stay at 6 on Venaric side, at least for till peacetime. I don't think we're gonna see another one added, and the same thing for antimateria. And I feel like both are trying to play such a sharp peacetime timing that they are probably not gonna try to extend it, extend their eco much. Like, they obviously will try to keep building after peacetime, try to add more heavy industry, because if you don't, you just lose long run in no matter what build you're playing against. But I don't think they'll do an excessive amount of work in that department. At least not in the department of increasing the building economy. Now yeah, we're already seeing like full 2 storages being full of gold and weapons, while the Mayan maybe barely even had filled 1 if you consider like everything together. So it looks like quite a huge advantage for antimateria right now. But then again, you're also looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weaponsmiths running for Venaric. And here we have 5. Now, Viking weaponsmiths are the fastest and Mayan weaponsmiths are the slowest, but 9 to 5 is a gap that even the speed of the working speed isn't matching anymore. We're already seeing the next few farms coming up. 2 farms being built. I don't know if it's gonna be like slow but steady. I guess no, he is running 6 stone mines, so he needs a shitload of bread. Like the amount of bread these 6 stone mines consume extra is gonna, you feel that. It's probably gonna be like 2, 3 weaponsmiths on their own, if not more. I think it's actually more. Let me do the math a bit. It's more like 4. Yeah, it's 4 weaponsmiths is I think what they reduce your build with. Now he did start with 6 grain farms, which is quite a lot. And 5 bakeries, as I expected. Maybe it was like 4 early and the 5th comes in a little later, so like a little bit of floors stacked up. But it looks like the right amount. And I mean, we're seeing the next grain farms come in. Like, this is gonna be the last bit of heavy industry he's building before the grain farms. Then the grain farms are gonna come, then this is gonna come. I think this is a mistake. He already has 2 priests, so he must have crushed the large temple. Yes, you do get more priests that way, but you are losing... Oh no, I don't think it is a mistake, because I didn't realize what he did. So now he's at 10 mana. What I was expecting him to be is at 15 mana. But what I also see is that he has pickaxes laying around here, and I don't think he got those pickaxes there from the toolsmiths. I am almost certain that these pickaxes were dropped by a gift. He casted to try to get a gift and get some tools, probably, because I mean, you're seeing they're getting picked up, so they can't be too much. Does look a little bit too much if you're seeing how many fishing rods. No, they are called differently in the game, I think. Fishing poles is what they're called here. How many fishing poles and hammers are laying around. And I mean, he has 2... He crushed the second toolsmith, so it was a toolsmith to compensate a tool deficit, I assume is what that was. I mean, not a bad play. Like, if it's the way to fix your mistake, it is... Like, if it's the only way to fix a mistake, then it is the only way and the best way. And I don't think there's a better way to fix the tool shortage issue The gift is also absolutely amazing, and since he casted the gift, by the way, that's what I wanted to get to before, is when you crush a large temple, you're losing half of the mana you gain from building the large temple. You build a large temple, you gain 10 mana, and when you crush it, you lose 5. You don't lose 5 if you had 0. Also, you don't lose 5 if you had 3. Pretty sure you just don't lose 5 if you would go into the negative. I'm not quite sure if it would actually put you to 0. In the case of being under 5 but above 0, I'm not sure if it would put you to 0 or actually just keep you at the amount you were at. But what I know is that way he casted the gift and then crushed it, and he basically doesn't lose mana and just gained a bit of mana extra. The gift, good play. Yeah, this was unfortunate. I think he paused all the stuff he did here at the bottom, but just didn't pause this building. Yeah, first grain farm for the expansion is finished. We do see that he doesn't have enough bread to really keep the industry running. Because actually, bread is stacking up. So I think what we're seeing here is that he didn't have enough bread because too much bread was on his stone mines, and I think he moved his whatever these things are called right now. So he moved his bread over to coal, so that more settlers bring bread to coal instead of to stone, and that kind of fixes his coal issue. What I initially thought is that he just had the stone mines run full of bread and had enough stone cutters to also provide stone, and therefore the stone mines, the bread was on the stone mines, but it didn't get used up, so the coal mines got bread after. I think he just moved over the bread manually. And yeah, with the bread actually on the coal mines, pretty sure the industry can run properly. Yeah, we're seeing coal on the iron smelters. I'm pretty sure it's building with the least coal priority, I assume. Yeah, we're seeing swordsmen, bowmen. Any explorers? I don't see any explorers. Just swordsmen and bowmen so far. Maybe that's just a normal 50-50 production. I'd be quite surprised if it is, because it's usually something people know to change. Seeing a bow there, a sword there. Yeah, he's still producing swords. He would have noticed, but. So those are intentional swords. We're now at 7 weaponsmiths, matching the industry of the Mayan much more now. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 to 10. I think is relatively even. I'm not quite sure who has a better production at that point. Now almost 300 resources more used for the Mayan, for Venaric. Combat power on... combat power isn't really... they both have the same tick right now. No advantages on either side, at least for bowmen. I don't know the swordsman ticks. So, can't quite tell you anything about that, but we're seeing beautifications from antimateria, which, that will give him a combat power spike that Venaric might actually have. Venaric might be able to get that combat power spike just by building enough buildings. He is now actually 300 resources ahead. 300 resources is quite a lot of combat power. And yeah. Anything else we can see in the settlement? Settlers look good. This bread amount here looks quite tight. Wondering if there are any grain farms in production anywhere. I do not see them. So I don't think there are any grain farms coming. Not like for Venaric, who already has grain farms up and running that are gonna produce extra bread. Stone mines are almost running dry of bread at this point. And yeah, peacetime. 10 seconds till peacetime, and right now, antimateria has an amount of soldiers where you just can go win. The mana, he also has a bit of mana. Would be enough mana to put a blood rush or two on his soldiers. I think like he has enough swordsmen where it would be worth it. Left to see a few X warriors in there as well. Peacetime is over. With 151 soldiers in total for the Mayan, Venaric, and 214 in total for Antimateria, the Viking. And Antimateria starts moving. Now Venaric is wanting to hide behind buildings for the time being. He doesn't have the defensive 107 combat power spike, he'd need 114 for that. And Antimateria has 116 combat power. And now 129, in other words he has 119 spike. So that is a 2 spike advantage, 8 damage versus 10 damage. Which is massive. That's a massive, massive disadvantage, at least for the bowmen. The swordsmen do their own work. I sadly don't know the ticks for them against bowmen. At which point it matters. But yeah, fighting with swordsmen inside these buildings. Oh, it just sounds like it looks horrible. Yeah, just have this bulk of bowmen just standing there, chilling, and killing those swordsmen like they are butterflies. Just eating them up. Now this storage is a little bit unfortunate for, like, this could be like a good angle to get the swordsman in there. The bowmen are gonna fight on the open field there. I don't really like that much. Yeah, I think the fight is probably gonna be good enough for Antimateria. Yeah, the swordsmen are able to get through relatively well, but you have a shit ton of bowmen behind there. These bowmen aren't getting a crazy flank. I mean, they're getting a good enough flank, I think. These bowmen aren't fighting back, so these bowmen are fighting for free. There was a ban. We don't have an isle on this map, which I only just now realized, and I'm actually confused about. I thought they got banned that way. I thought we'd have an isle for sure, because we definitely, like, we added one for the Metze map. And yeah, as you can see, the swordsmen were running into a huge clump of bowmen, and they didn't have a lot of area to attack on. There weren't any freezes, it was just blood rush, the freezes coming in afterwards. So the swordsmen are all dead. Right now, Antimateria still has traded positively and has a concave with the bowmen. So, oh, this is tough. I'd like these bowmen to back in a way, maybe? I don't know. The combat line just isn't good. And there are more swordsmen and other soldiers coming in for Antimateria. And he also has the combat power advantage right now. We have 114 defensive now, so it's only 1 tick disadvantage for Venaric. But he also made a lot of blowgunners now against the swordsmen, but the swordsmen are dead, and the blowgunners are aren't gonna be trading efficiently against these bowmen. The trade is just gonna get worse, and the soldier disadvantage was there from the beginning already anyways. So this is really, really rough. The blowgunners just keep moving, not knowing what to do, where to fight, and now he's finally, I think, gonna shove him into the bowman, and I assume lose this fight. Swordsmen coming in from the right, now fighting against a few bowmen that are left, although they have the worst fight on that side. Now these are only like 3 rows of bowmen, and I think like blowgunners would be winning against a 1 thick line of bowmen for sure. But in the end, it's also just a concave. Like, so many bowmen fighting, so little units fighting for Venaric. I do think that's gonna be it. Like, the blowgunners didn't do their job. They didn't win hard enough. I think they did trade efficiently there actually, but overall, it's 253 kills against 166. Traded way too efficiently. That is the GG from Venaric. And with that, the victory. That was a short and sweet match. Lovely, sharp timing attack from Antimateria with the combat power going in with 119 and quite a lot of soldiers, a little bit of mana to get in some sweet blood rush and freezes in there as well. And Venaric, I think, had the better late game build-up. Like, the farms are already there, he built some mana now. Like, this would have scaled beautifully. But he just didn't get the time to scale. I also don't know where the soldiers were banned to. Gonna check one thing. Didn't have... I mean, even if the person that would have violated the rules also lost anyways. Fine. Yeah, the bowman, the sharp timing attack from Antimateria won, and Venaric's build just didn't quite work out, although I gotta say, I love the stone mines. Stone mines are amazing. Amazing build, amazing idea. And let's look at the statistic. While I am gonna see if I'll be getting into an interview, I'm relatively certain that I'm gonna get into an interview if I find the channel. The interview is probably gonna happen in German, and I'll be happening in German, and I'll be translating it. You can still put some questions in chat if you want to ask some questions. We had a German broadcast for this as well. So yeah, apparently, I think I'm gonna join this channel and be muted for a bit. Now they came in. Hello, hello.
Glückwunsch, Dani. Ja, hast Venaric dann auf jeden Fall umgepusht und wahrscheinlich auch keine Minute zu früh. Denn ja, ich glaube, die nächsten Minuten wären schwierig geworden, wenn es noch.
Okay, so I've made them relatively quiet. You can hear them a bit in the background. Tell me if you want to have them louder or quieter.
Ja,
I'll try to be translating what they're saying.
Was ihr vorbereitet habt in der SF-Küche. Es wird gemunkelt, dass da gute Ergebnisse noch schlummern, die ihr dann in den nächsten Tagen präsentieren wird. Janich ist ja gerade auch zugange gegen Squall. Ich glaube, das Spiel läuft auch noch. Kann das sein? Weiß ich gerade nicht. Und ja, wie ist dein Spiel gelaufen? Bist du zufrieden, wie es gelaufen ist? Zumindest bis PT hin.
Okay, so
Ja.
was asked if Antimateria is happy with how it went. As I said earlier, there was voices talking about. Okay, I need to make him louder because I can't talk myself and listen to him.
Ja.
Shit.
Ja, konnte man, glaube ich, auch gut sehen, hatte, glaube ich, Hand und Fuß. Du hast jetzt ein sehr heavy Eisenbild gewählt. Hast du auch andere Varianten?
So he was happy with it, generally said. Like it worked out. It wasn't the best round he's played. But yeah, the question was how he felt.
Bist du der Meinung, dass das im Moment so der stärkste Aufbau ist? Vielleicht auch für alle Völker, weil du ja jetzt gerade Wiki gepickt hast, also Wiki dein Leben anvertraut hast.
And now the question is about how he's thinking about Stone to Iron, if that's going to be the best way to play.
Aber es spielt sich für mich gut und ich hatte jetzt auch nicht die Zeit, viel einzuüben. Ich weiß halt, dass das gut zum Rushen ist und das war der Plan. Und das ist aufgegangen.
Okay.
Aber wahrscheinlich, wenn Venaric jetzt...
So he doesn't think that Stone to Iron is necessarily the best build, but he practiced that, he knows it works. He doesn't have too much time to practice other things, and therefore he just went with it. And he knows it's good for rushing, he wanted to rush, wanted to make it short and sweet. Yeah, worked out.
Du hast auf jeden Fall sehr gut vorbereitet gewirkt, nachdem du dann, oder als du dann so die ersten kleinen Wohnhäuser nur auf Metzelpunkte gebaut hattest und alle Minen komplett blind gesetzt hast, das ganze Spiel über. Wie hast du es geschafft, deine Vorbereitung hier aufs Brett zu zaubern in diesem Spiel?
I was asked how
Ja, also die Baupunkte habe ich gefunden.
How happy
ja, der
Venaric
Reaper,
was
ich
with
wusste,
his-
dass der RIP war, weil ich vorhin schon mal reingeladen hatte mit diesem neuen Turniersetting. Hab's dann auch umgestellt, aber halt auf dem falschen Profil. Ja,
Oh.
und dann hatte ich keinen Stein mehr und dann, ja, wenig später, nachdem ich also das ging sogar noch fast, aber dann habe ich halt panikmäßig alles rüber geregelt auf die Steinminen und dann war die Kohle RIP. Also da lief
Oh,
nicht. Und
so-
dann irgendwie Goldschmelzen. Genau, dann habe ich die Sachen versucht, noch rüber zu micro von den Goldschmelzen und da gibt es ja den tollen Alles-Pausieren-Knopf, nur ist mir dann irgendwann aufgefallen, Moment mal, ich pausiere auch die ganze Zeit meine Baustellen und deshalb werden keine Goldschmelzen mehr fertig. Ja, also angefangen vom Brot nicht auf Steinminen, hat sich dann so kaskadenmäßig das Ganze bis PT.
Vielleicht möchtest du in deine Einstellung gucken, weil man theoretisch nicht alle Gebäude pausieren muss. Also ich pausiere immer nur meine Gebäude, also ich glaube, Same Building State oder irgendwie so gibt es noch als
dann sollte ich
separat.
das wahrscheinlich mal umstellen.
Genau. Okay,
Aber die Goldschmelzen,
so I'll be translating that now. I will
also
just
wäre
said
gut
one thing
gewesen, aber
there.
ich glaube, das mit der Kohle probieren da.
Ja, auf jeden Fall.
Venaric.
Den Stein an, weil
So Venaric was really prepared, like as Kinka was saying, like really prepared, knew all his building spots, knew what places the houses are gonna be built without any diggers, stuff like that. But Venaric said that he had a preset issue. So because this map isn't the normal map, his presets weren't properly put in place for the bread, and therefore he didn't have stone in the beginning at some point. I think probably like when the bread production started running, too much bread was going to the coal mine, and then he later, all the bread was in the stone, and he did that manually and therefore got into a lot of stone or coal issues.
Das perfekte Timing getroffen mit 119 gegen deine noch nicht 107 defensiv, also 119 gegen 95 dann gekämpft.
Ich glaube, ich hatte aber 113 offensiv, aber ich habe auch erst sehr spät geschaut.
Ja, es ist im Laufe des Kampfes irgendwann reingekommen, aber zumindest der Anfang ist ja so dann gelaufen. Und ja, da war, glaube ich, auch nicht so viel zu holen, weil er dann auch ja, eine sehr gute Konkave auf deinen Ballonsoldaten gekriegt hat.
Das war dann irgendwann RIP. Ja, und mit den Förstern habe ich zu sehr gegreedet. Also
da
war der Steinmangel dann auch gar nicht ganz so schlimm.
Venaric also said that he greeted with the foresters a little too much.
Nicht so wie
In the beginning, as I said, where I was like looking at the right side, I was like,
Das kann man wohl sagen.
you're just gonna get rid of the forest. Didn't actually look back at that.
Es tut mir ja in dem Sinne leid für euch, dass ich euch jetzt hier in der ersten Runde gegeneinander gematcht habe. Und ja, jetzt haben wir hier mit Dani den
Kingcat is
Sieger aus der Runde. Nichtsdestotrotz
apologizing for putting them against each other in the first round, as they're both good players. Like they were both playing good builds. Some mistakes, some unfortunate things with Venaric's presets not being exactly correct. Yeah. But generally said, like, very well played, very good builds. They both were prepared, and I'm very certain both of them are gonna get out of the Swiss stage.
Oh ja.
Ich muss sagen, meine Schwerter waren RIP, oder? Das hat nicht viel gebracht in der Situation. Ich glaube, wenn ich nur Bögen gehabt hätte, dann wäre ich besser gekommen.
Wahrscheinlich ja. Ich persönlich.
Antimateria is currently saying that he thinks the swords weren't that well.
Einfach mal durch die
or that good.
durchschickst und guckst, ob du irgendwas finden kannst und für das, was in einem Fight wirklich committen soll, dass du dafür dann Äxte machst, weil die einfach tankier sind und in aller Regel dann auch den besseren Job als Schwerter erledigen in so einer Situation.
Ich habe eigentlich damit gerechnet, dass ich angegriffen wäre, weil ich habe gesehen, okay, Venaric baut offensiv, also ich hatte ja relativ gute Vision gehabt. Den End-Deep hat er gefunden, da habe ich immer schön gesehen.
Antimateria was expecting to be attacked
stellt sich vorne hin,
because of the offensive barracks that he scouted, and therefore he made the swords to be able to, because they're good for fighting on the field,
ja, und dann habe ich aber gesehen, dass
in the open field.
Dann weiß ich eigentlich, dass es RIP ist, da reinzugehen. Also ich habe
Yeah.
damit gerechnet, dass ich
And then he was like, okay, now he knows that the swordsmen are ripped to attack, but he wanted to attack because his build was expected to be strong early. So that was like kind of like a bad situation. Ich wollte einfach nur sagen, mit den Schwertern hättest du, glaube ich, länger warten können. Wenn du länger wartest, dann kriegst du, dann es sind weniger Bogenschützen da. Das heißt, die laufen ja nicht so einen riesigen Bulk rein. Und können mehr erreichen.
Mir fehlt ein bisschen die Erfahrung.
Ja. I just gave him a small tip where, like, if the sword with the swords in those situations, you can wait a bit, for some of the bows to already die to your bowman, and then you can put in the swordsman, so there's less of a bulk that just kills your swords really fast, less numbers disadvantage you're having, and then the swordsman can really shine with their better stats.
Stein weiterläuft und ja, wahrscheinlich hat irgendwie 1 oder 2 Fischer gefehlt, damit die Eco in Anführungszeichen stabil weiterläuft, aber ja.
Ja, hätte dann der Steinmine pausieren müssen, eigentlich. Das reicht dann meistens. Also das ist okay eigentlich mit dem Fisch, da kommt man dann okay durch, aber das ist, ja.
Okay, it was like, apparently King Cat noticed a bit of the eco not running, I assume somewhere in the end, where I just wasn't paying attention to the settlement that much anymore, and I was saying that, like, maybe there would have needed to be 1 or 2 more fishes for the stone and gold to both run, but Antimateri said that he would have just needed to pause the stone mines, and it wasn't that urgent apparently. That's also probably why I didn't notice it.
Noch weitere Fragen hat, dann wären wir jetzt ja auch durch. Wie sieht's aus?
Ich war einfach nur großer Fan von den 4 Startsteinminen von Venaric. Das fand ich sehr schön anzusehen, aber großartig Fragen. Ich habe jetzt keine Fragen aus dem Chat und auch keine eigenen noch weiteren. Das wurde größtenteils abgehakt. Wir haben ja mitbekommen, dass Venaric sehr vorbereitet war. Abseits von den Presets, die leider ein bisschen RIP gegangen sind.
Ja, ich bin auch sehr gespannt drauf, wie Venarics Bild dann in der nächsten Runde aussehen könnte, wenn das dann clean durchläuft. Jetzt
und ob nicht jetzt einfach alle Leute gegen ihn buddelbannen, weil er zu viel vorbereitet ist.
Ja, es sieht auf jeden Fall sehr scary aus, wenn da jemand komplett
das Spiel
spielt.
We just talked a little bit about how incredibly prepared Venaric was, playing 4 stone mines, which is a lot and was a little unexpected. Most people would only consider 2, and that we're like quite excited to see how it goes further down the line with that build. Like, looks really impressive to see somebody be that prepared, know exactly where to build every single building. And yeah, was speculating that it'll probably now get banned against him.
Ja, ich bin dann in dem Sinne auch fertig für heute. Bedanke mich für das Spiel, was ich hier von euch beiden casten konnte, und ja, bedanke mich nochmal bei Label, der hier heute spontan eingesprungen ist, um hier die beiden Spiele mitkommentieren zu können. Vielen Dank.
Ja, gerne.
GG and thank you for the game.
Ja,
okay. I now left that there. They are done with the interview. Thank you for watching. I don't think I did scroll through this yet, so I'm gonna do this real quick. Scrolling through the statistic a bit. If anybody is curious, wanting to see 13 weaponsmiths at the end of the game, I do think Venaric would have outscaled Antimateria quite a bit. Size of territory 40 to 23. Yeah, mana advantage for Antimateria. You're also seeing it in the ores. Like, Venaric was going to produce more soldiers if he just lived long enough, which he didn't. So unfortunate in that department. He has more food already. Probably also more bread. Let me check that. Wait, did I scroll past the bread here? 269 to 194. Much more bread. A lot of the bread went into the stone mines, so yeah. Storages. And then 2 full sets, 2.5 sets of beautifications. Not even a full set for Venaric. Missing 7 eye catcher there. Yeah. Generally, numbers at the end. You just produce out the weapons and tier 2 soldiers, but overall, Venaric, if the presets go better, and they actually are correctly set up beforehand, should be a close and more even match. Now I just want to quickly, at the end, shout out that you can donate. If you want to support this, want to see more matches like this in the future, we'd like to only cover our costs that we're having with trophy in the end, some server costs for website and the bot that is organizing the matches, or making the organization much easier. And yeah, if you want to donate, there's a link I just posted here, or you actually go straight to the website, as right now that'd be a little bit more efficient in terms of less fees on other, like less fees of the third-party services, because the link you'd use via the donate thing would bring you to. Actually, I can put you the right part of the website, right link. This brings you immediately to the page where you get the donation information. As if you do it via the website, it's less fees, and the other link would be. The other link is to have some alerts and stuff like that on stream. And I'm not gonna stream any longer for today. There was 2 matches. I want to do some other things in my life as well. So yeah, that was it for today. Thank you for the, like, if you're in the YouTube at the end, you can also check out the comments. And thank you for watching. There'll be more matches. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do more of the first round of the Swiss stage. I think like maybe 1 or 2 more. I'm trying to do a few. And then we'll go into the second round and hoping for some more banger matches that are gonna be, yeah, as close or tight as this one, because this honestly was surprisingly tight in the end for how much of a less soldiers Venaric had when this fight started. Yeah, I thank you all for watching and see you next time.